Let's get into some media malarkey with Sophie Elsworth, media writer for the Australian newspaper. Great to talk to you again, Sophie. Gee, I tell you what, there'll be a lot of political journalists doing the story tonight. They didn't think they'd be doing on the first full day of the campaign. A complete howler from Anthony Albanese.
Well, Chris, what we're a day in, and what an absolute disaster for Anthony Albanese. And this just goes to show there's been a bit of a protection racket for him prior to the election being called. He's been given softball questions relentlessly, and today he was put on the spot and he could not answer very simple questions. If this man wants to run the country, Chris, he needs to know these very important figures. He needs to stop spruiking the fact he's got an economics degree from when I was in nappies and brush up on his facts and figures and know the real stuff, because this is very important. And the fact he got caught out today is massively embarrassing for the Labor Party. Yeah, I keep saying these numbers are just so fundamental to the debate. They underpin all of the promises and arguments he's been making about employment and the risk of inflation and interest rates going up. I don't understand how he didn't know them, and they weren't. They were significant questions. Stella Todorovic, who used to work for Sky, asked one of them for Channel 10, and then when Anthony Albanese denied he was ducking any questions, he said he'll answer anything. Then Andrew Clennell chucked in the unemployment rate. I mean, this is just so easy for most politicians, surely, especially someone who wants to be Prime Minister. But unsurprisingly, the Liberals are already turning it into a campaign ad. Have a look at this.
What's the national unemployment rate?
National unemployment rate at the moment is, I think it's 5.4. Sorry, I'm not sure what it is.
Exactly.
It won't be easy under Albanese.
Tell you what, Homer Simpson getting a run in the election ads already.
Disaster, Chris, and he really needs to go to bed tonight, get himself a cup of tea and be brushing up on his economic figures, because if he's caught out 24 hours into the campaign this easily, and Stella did a very good job, as did Andrew Clennell, to just drill him on basic figures, then heaven knows what he's going to come up with in the next few weeks. He needs to get across the detail, and this is where Scott Morrison will absolutely leave Albanese shown up for someone who doesn't know his facts and figures. And he keeps spruiking how important the cost of living is. He wants to bring down the costs, do all these things for businesses, and he can't even say what the cash rate is. And in fact, the unemployment rate, he was way off, Chris. 5.4% is an awfully high unemployment rate compared to 4%, which the Coalition have been banging on and on about and beating their chests how proud they are to get it so low.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Now, I know you've been looking at some of the political advertising, and this kind of plays into it. Let's have a look first at some of Anthony Albanese's main advertisement.
I'm Anthony Albanese, graduating in economics at Sydney Uni and serving 6 years as infrastructure minister taught me what makes our economy tick. Growing up with a single mum, I learnt the value of a dollar, and I know how hard it is to get ahead. That's why I will help families get ahead by making childcare cheaper, reducing power bills.
And Sophie, the reason that's relevant is that ad is introducing Anthony Albanese. That ad concedes that he's not well known and they're trying to frame him. Yet now, on the first full day of the campaign, voters are mainly going to know him as the guy who doesn't know the basic numbers.
Absolutely, Chris. And so he's put out this ad basically very much focused on the economy, and yet he's got no idea about the unemployment rate. I don't know how this happens. I mean, you only have to listen to the media. You know the cash rate decision is every month as well. The unemployment figures out. You hear this stuff. It's thrown down our throats all the time. The government is constantly going on about these figures. The fact that he was just caught out, if I was his minders, I'd be so concerned. What on earth is going to come out of his mouth in the coming weeks? He's not across the detail, Chris, and he's been caught absolutely out here, and it's highly embarrassing for him.
He sure has. I just want to show another ad that the Liberals are running that raises the spectre of a former Labor leader. Have a look.
Australians are ready. Australians are ready, Labor's ready, and I'm ready.
I'm ready, we are ready, and Australia is ready.
There you go. Just pointing out that he's basically used the same lines as Mark Latham. They might need to get the L plate, the learner plate out for Anthony Albanese as well after today. Thanks so much for joining us, Sophie. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.